Hello, everybody. This is Jack from the Dawn Reviews, bringing you a new review. This time, I'll be reviewing Aquaman Kingdom Lost. Kingdom Lost is the last volume in this Aquaman series. This is the final of the Sub Diego event, or status quo, if you will. After this would be the 1 year later. It would star this other Arthur Curry, and I don't know if it picks up on any of the storylines in here. I know Black Manta's in that eventually, but I don't plan on reading that, especially if it's not in trade. So this brings us to this book, Kingdom Lost. And my overall opinion is it's mixed. It's a really mix. There's some really cool ideas. Starting with the cover. The cover is so good. A giant black manta with this Aquaman in his hands, and then DNA coming from Aquaman to Black Manta's hands. Giant metaphor that they don't really explore in the book. That now, at the end of this book, Black Manta is now a water breather. He technically has Aquaman's DNA in him, and that's fascinating. And they don't get into it at all, like not one bit. Very very it's a missed opportunity that I wish they explored more. I would say the biggest problem with this volume is there's no cohesion. You could say there's an overarching story of this, but it really is not. There's really no overarching story. So, the beginning, Aquaman is going to Atlantis because his son told him that Mira is still alive and not well. And I just want to start with one of my first problems. The art for this book is not that great. Most of it is layouts by Leonard Kirk and finishes by Andy Clark. Both individually great artists, but together they are not good. I don't understand. The Mira is supposed to be sick. Mira's under a spell, and she's becoming a mouth breather, breathing air. And it also makes her body, she looks old. She doesn't look like the Mira we know. And I don't know if she's supposed to be, physically sick, not also internally sick. It doesn't really talk about that. And then Geist, the doctor who everything is blamed, that Aquaman blames for everything, which good, turns out to be an Olmec, and is now now terrorizing Aquaman, and he dies. His son kills him. Aquaman's son kills him. This doesn't really make any much sense why that had to happen. Just doesn't. The next big thing is Black Manta becomes, a water breather because of the Progen people, the people who have the patent on Aquaman, the people who caused the Sub Diego event, and they just disappear. They're not really a part of this book at all. Drop that storyline. Geist is dead. The Progen storyline is dropped, and now the biggest plot in this is that Mira is turning into a mouth breather by this old sorcerer. So Tepis, who is Aqualad or Garth, is somewhat the ruler of Atlantis, somewhat the main antagonist of this book at points. He gathers a bunch of other sorcerers and tries to force this other sorcerer, the evil sorcerer, who's stronger than all of them, into reversing the spell. It doesn't work, and the Spectre comes. And the Spectre destroys Atlantis. And nothing else. Like, Aquaman fights a whole bunch of his villains, because this is around Infinite Crisis and around, Villains United and stuff like that. But they just run away and they go to Infinite Crisis. His son dies. Aquaman's son dies. So, again, another son dies. The Black Manta thing doesn't really get resolved. Nothing gets resolved in this book. He does fight Black Manta one last time at the end, but it doesn't. Well, he lets Black Manta die, which is pretty interesting. But I haven't read Sword of Atlantis. I don't plan on reading Sword of Atlantis, but I have read Brightest Day, and in Brightest Day, he is most definitely not a water breather. Black Manta is not a water breather. So this whole volume seems like there's no consequences. Nothing gets resolved. Nothing is done. DC obviously doesn't care because the next Aquaman series that continues this is another total person altogether. They turn Aquaman into this squid-looking type guy and then kill him. It's just a bunch of BS, and this again, like I said, there's some themes that are really cool in here. Aquaman's angry and he can't control his rage. Secrets, they say Aquaman keeps secrets. They say people are lying about Aquaman because Aquaman doesn't really express his feelings that much, and if he does, it's like, no, I'm right. Pretty much like, a king would act, in my opinion. So he's very kingly in that, how he's very strong in his convictions. And I don't know, it's so tough because the first volume of Sub Diego is so good, but by the third volume, this isn't that great. It's not that great. Oh yeah, I forgot. It's written by John Arcudi, who wrote the Serve and Protect. So yeah, I wouldn't say pick this up, which is very hard for me to say. Like I said, there's good themes. It's not crucial to anyone's Aquaman, which is sad. It's all right if you're an Aquaman fan like me. You have to buy it because there's only a handful of Aquaman trades, prior to the New 52. What I think there's, the four of this series. So Water Bearer, Sub Diego, Serve and Protect, Lost Kingdom. So those four. You got Volume 1, Peter David, and you got Atlantis Chronicles, and you got the post-crisis series. So that's 7 volumes of pre-New 52. So this is a small group of books. So if you're an Aquaman fan, you have to get it because it's the only way you can get Aquaman stories prior to the New 52. And all these stories are not even related to the New 52 stories. The New 52 Aquaman acts like this never happened. Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe it's not. Segue into my next Aquaman review would either be Aquaman The Trench or the complete Jeff Johns run on Aquaman. I'm in the process of rereading that right now, and as right now, it's great. It's awesome. I've read it before. The art is amazing. Ivan Reis is a god of art. I love you, and Jeff Johns. You know how to make Aquaman cool. With that said, this is Jack from the Don Review signing out, saying, give Aquaman a chance. Peace.